One, you still got some work to do.
Really? What is that?
The floor plane.
Oh, okay. You want to help me pull up the site plan first?
Sure, so you want a side plane for Xiaozhoushan or the side plane for the urban one?
Man, I don't really have a choice. I got complaints about the urban project from the owner, so hit me with the other one.
Please wait a second.
Anyway, do you know anything about the floor plan?
Of course. The purpose of a floor plane is to show the dimensions and proportions of the interior spaces of a building, depicting their relationship with each other, the connections between interior and exterior, and the location of key elements such as openings, objects, and wall thicknesses.
Alright, bring me up the floor plan for this project. And probably move them a little bit upward, just like that. Thanks. In the last video, I mentioned about the floor plan was to have a cutting height of 4 feet. And at the same time, we don't really care about what's going on for the rest of the site or buildings. It is not that clear for some audience. Can you help me place them side by side?
Sure. Is there anything else you want me to do?
Probably get rid of the side plan and take out the other floor plan.
Like this?
Yep, and probably drop them back right now. We don't need it anymore.
You want to talk about how to draw a floor plane systematically?
Why not? Where do you think I should start with?
Maybe go with the architectural elements.
Hold on, wait a second. Let's start with the essential first.
Essentials? Are we talking about fashion? Based on your most recently browsing data, I recommend you the following outfit.
You know what? You have a great taste. You know that, right? The essentials for side plan are the topo, side contacts, scale, north arrow, and FFE. I've talked about it in my last video. And it is a little bit different for the floor plan. The essentials for the floor plan are scale, and normally it's going to be 1/4 inch to a foot or 1/8 inch to a foot. You can also use 1/16 inch to a foot if the design area is relatively large. And then the north arrow, of course we're talking about the Northern Hemisphere here. And the line weight.
Wait a second. In your last video, the line weight was concluded in the third stage.
Yep, just like you said, that's side plan. There's no cutting height exists, so the variation of height is classified into the third stage, which is a tweak and adjustment. But in the floor plan, because of the cutting height, some objects are cut in the middle. To differentiate them to the rest, we need to at least have two types of line weight here. One is to represent the vertical supporting elements. We apply thicker lines to them, and at the same time we can apply different color to fill. The other type is everything that survives under the cutting line, like a table, a chair, couch, television, and cabinets. First thing first, the construction of a building is supported by the structural elements and then the non-structural elements. It is like the skeleton and muscles. You gotta have a skeleton first and then muscles.
Interesting. What are structural elements then?
So there are tons of structural elements here. For instance, we have like basement, slabs, wall, beam, column, and stairs. However, the floor plan is cutting in horizontal direction. We will only consider about the vertical elements.
Which is walls and columns?
Exactly. Can you give me the most recent project I just did? The appearance of walls and columns are quite similar in drawings. We give them a cut, and then we have two ways to represent. The first one is trying to apply a thicker stroke, and then fill some color.
Which color are we talking about here?
Black for the stroke, and the color inside, which is fill, doesn't really matter. In most scenarios, the fill is going to be gray, but you can also apply white, red, green, blue, or whatever you feel like to.
That makes sense. What about the other option?
The second option is to use solid color, no strokes, no line weight. Let's say if we have a black or dark background, we can use solid white or light color. And if we have a white or light background, we can use solid black, gray, blue, red, and so on.
What about non-structural elements?
That's simple here. Intuitively, everything that will be cut in the horizontal direction, such as like doors, windows, stairs, and plants.
How to drop them in paper?
First one is doors, and here are some common ones. And then the windows. All we need to do is indicate them in the drawing, which is saying technically we can have the same graphic for all of them.
Cool. Anything else?
Another commonly seen structure is stairs. Under the cutting height, stairs need to be solid lines. Above the cutting height, we can use dashed lines to represent them. Most of the time, we will have a slash to express the cutting area. And, of course, we don't have to draw like this. By the way, it is always better to add an arrow to indicate the upward direction.
Is that it? There's some other dashed lines in the drawing. What are those?
Let's take a look at the ground floor first. The dashed line here refers to the extended area from the upper level. And then the broken dashed line in the second level refers to the void space. And of course, a solid broken line also works here. Since the rest part are survived from the cutting line, so we can just simply mark them out with the irregular stroke.
Got it. By the way, in your last video, adding shadows to drawing can show information about third dimension of the design. Can we do that here?
Absolutely yes. After adding shadow, the floor plan is going to be like this. Remember to adjust the opacity of the shadow to kind of like suit your needs.
In the last video, in the stage of stylish, you mentioned about materials can be filled with graphic patterns, but you didn't have an example of it. Can you give me a showcase of it?
Definitely, there was a bidding project in 2019. Bring that up. And let's check out the original design first. And some line weight.
Need some color to the fill?
Nope. What I'm trying to do next is trying to apply the materials to the drawing.
It does look better than the very first one.
Not even close, man. Let's drop some usage scenarios like tables and chairs, scale figures, veggies. That looks much better, right?
You're right. Need some shadows here?
Well, not in this one. In some kind of degree, it is quite cheating to add a shadow. If you're a student or you just get into this industry, it is quite important to do some fundamental properly and correctly. At least you're supposed to be capable of doing this. Up till now, this is all you should know to draw a floor plan.
Who are you talking to? By the way, seems like you've gained a lot of weight, and your body fat is over 20 right now. Need me to remind you to exercise regularly?
I can't really do anything about it. After I got infected with the virus, I barely exercised for the last month, so I'm healthier. Well, what about this? So after Chinese New Year, set me an alarm clock every 5 minutes at 6:30, with a total of like three times.
Roger that. And your girlfriend called you an hour ago. You want to reply?
Oh, my witch. Hey, I didn't notice your call.
There's one more thing I need to make sure of. Which video are you going to update next?